Alrighty, well, I guess here we are.
We're here again.
I'm Mark Crandall.
And I'm Brad Crandall.
You got Cam over on the cam.
Yep. Cam on cam.
Cam on cam. Alright, boys.
Crandall
it's time for Animal Stories Part 2.
You wanna go first?
Yeah, first, I'd like to say that if anybody is looking to adopt a cat or dog, the Detroit Animal Shelter has been at capacity for the past month and a half, and they are looking to give animals a home. The shelter is hosting a series of events where they're here to help you find your forever friend. Now, all the cats and dogs are fully vaccinated, sterilized, and microchipped, and they're waiving all adoption fees now. The animal control officials say that they have large enough room for only 84 adult dogs, but they have exceeded that number due to a large surge in strays. The shelter's director says there's opportunities available for both pet adoptions and foster care programs, and they can find them online at petfinder.com. They said that there are possibilities that they could have them transported for you.
Yeah.
So you can find your forever friend in Detroit right now.
Mm-hmm.
And they're looking to get you a free one.
It's only about a 13-hour drive.
I mean, for a free pet,
12.
you know, the one you've been looking for,
It'd be worth it.
It'd be worth it.
And since we're on dogs, let me just bring up this. This golden, a 20-year-old dog becomes the oldest golden in history. Look at him.
Well, there you go. He's
Big story there.
20-year-old golden retriever.
Better known as Augie, turned 20, and the oldest golden. So I don't know what they feed him, but gosh,
it's definitely not Midwestern pet foods that have been going around. So dog deaths and illnesses may be linked to Midwestern pet foods, FDA warns. The FDA has said Tuesday that products from Midwestern pet foods are associated with the illness or death of hundreds of pets. At least 130 dogs have died tied to the food, and 200 have become ill. Sports Mix brands dry dog food are the main products in question, but there are other brands, as you see on the screen. And per the FDA, the poor safety standards have led to an illness and death in numerous dogs. The issue is the presence of a dead aflatoxin, which was found after customers complained of suspected mycotoxin poisoning in their pets. Following the initial inspection at the Midwestern Pet Food Manufacturing Plant in Oklahoma, the Food and Drug Administration launched investigations at the company's New York, Indiana, and Illinois locations. After these tests, additional products were recalled after traces of salmonella were found. At this point, the list of potentially dangerous pet foods include both cat and dog foods by the brands Sports Mix and Earthborn. But they are all under investigation right now. Matter of fact, this has gotten so big that it's either Harvard or Tufts is looking into. Tufts would make sense with Tufts Vet. So Tufts is looking into it as well.
Those criminals, you know, you want to keep your best friend alive.
If you want your dog 20 years old, keep away from that pet food right there.
They feed this one a little mix of dry and wet food, actually. Wet and dry Hill's prescription diet, K&D. Whatever that
sounds expensive.
It really does.
Sounds like some top brand dog food there.
So there was another story. Do you have another one about dogs? I have one more about dogs.
I got one more about dogs. Let's switch it off.
Everyone loves dogs, right? So I mean, there's this video of this dog saving a frozen cat, and he drags this cat into his house. And into his little dog house. It was super cute. Here's the video right here.
За что так вот воспитание? Кноп, зачем ты его затащила? Кноп, пожалься над котом. 你说谁？
Well, wow. Alrighty. Never seen that before. So there is.
Let's just hope that he didn't eat them.
Yeah, I know. It's what we know he was doing with that cat popsicle. No one could really take a guess, you know. But he, it looked like he was saving them at first.
Yeah, it looked.
So we do have some major bites, and they aren't minor, because as we know, the Biden dog Major was more of a problem pooch than the White House initially acknowledged. Turns out that Secret Service emails that just dropped, they say that Major bit multiple Secret Service agents a total of 8 days in a row, with averaging 1 bite a day. The White House said that the Biden's 3-year-old shepherd was involved in a pair of nipping incidents, but the email shows there was much more in depth there. At the current rate, an agent or officer, they said, had been bitten every day this week, causing damage to a tire or bruising punctures to the skin. So this isn't the only president that actually had an issue with the German Shepherd in the White House. Turns out that Franklin Roosevelt also had a German Shepherd named Major that didn't take well to life in the White House. Major wound up being banished to the Roosevelt home in Hyde Park, New York, after biting incidents that involved the British Prime Minister and the first woman elected to the U.S. Senate, Hattie Caraway. So it's not the only time a German Shepherd has been causing a ruckus in the White House.
Wow, that's crazy.
So they said that he's going to be moved to their other home and out of the White House.
Where's that Caesar guy? You know, it's to just have him come out and train the dog. No.
Yeah. No. Oh yeah. So what is it? The Dog Whisperer?
Yeah, Dog Whisperer.
Oh yeah.
Good South Park episode.
That's a phenomenal one.
And speaking about dogs, why not just keep it going, right? Woman tearfully reunites with her stolen husky after 2 years missing. Heartbreaking story turned to an epic reunion between a missing dog and the woman who never stopped searching for him. After more than 2 years, restless effort, and tons of hope, this picture is just beautiful, you know?
Look at that. Look at how happy and puppy.
Speaking about missing huskies, we're still missing Icy Cool.
Yep. Put out PB, you know?
Yep, so hey.
APB.
Keep an eye out for him. He's got a little
okay.
mini tail. Let us know if you find him, because hoping to have my story on here too.
Yep. So APB, all points bulletin, I believe. So anyway, we got some good news. Disney's Animal Kingdom actually just welcomed a baby gorilla and a hippopotamus that were born 1 day apart. In Lake Buena Vista, Florida, the Animal Kingdom welcomed the 2 baby animals this week. Well, it was about 2 weeks now, because we take too long to do these episodes. But anyway,
No, I mean, we don't get paid.
well, it's by the way, we are taking sponsors and contributions. Please send all envelopes with checks to the address below right here. There you go. Okay. And we will feature your company on this site. That's right. A Nile Hippopotamus Calf was born Monday, and a Western lowland gorilla was born on Tuesday, the company said in a release. Both newborn animals are healthy and under the supervision of Disney's animal care team. The baby gorilla can be seen on stage at the Gorilla Falls Exploration Trail. The baby gorilla's parents, Azizi and Gino, are also parents to the newborn's big brother, Corey, who was born in 2014. The hippopotamus calf was born at the Safi River on Kilimanjaro safaris, joining 9 other hippos in the family, including its parents, Tuma and Henry. The hippopotamus calf made his splashy debut Monday at the Safi River at the safaris. So he's now nuzzling with his mom and moving through water like a pro. So the plan ensures that responsible breeding of vulnerable or critically endangered species, including those Nile hippopotamuses and western lowland gorillas, to create healthy, genetically diverse populations for years to come.
Let's just keep that coming.
Just keep it coming.
Cam knows a little about baby hippos, don't you?
I mean, I'm a big hippo fanatic, but I had a personal experience with baby Fiona out of Cincinnati Zoo, and she's got to be like 3 years old now or so.
She's
But,
still healthy.
She's adorable.
Just melts your heart.
Yeah, that's about it.
Just a-
Yeah.
So, anyways, you had that little thing about that gorilla, right? Well,
Yeah.
how about the orangutan that rocked sunglasses dropped by a visitor in the zoo enclosure?
Oh yeah.
Wait till you see this. Look at this guy.
Oh, he's rocking it. Look at
Hey,
that.
look at that. Huh?
Guy's looking too cool for
Same
cats. Too
Looks
cool
like
for
he
school.
Belongs in the Jungle Book, right?
Yeah.
Female orangutan could be seen putting on the sunglasses as onlookers snap just perfectly timed pictures. And test tube said the orangutan. Hold on, test tube. I don't know what that is, but said the orangutan had her glasses on for about 15 minutes before the zookeepers prompted her to throw them back in exchange for a leafy treat. Unfortunately, the glasses broke in the toss. So,
Well, hopefully they were cheapos, you know?
yeah,
Just
hopefully.
just the
the
five-
gas station.
Yeah, gas station sunglasses or something. You had a personal
Say the
experience,
brand.
right? You went on a monkey park or something where like the trainers had apples and you would trade it because they would steal stuff from the guests.
Yeah, when I was in Taiwan, actually, I went on a trail, and this was in Kaohsiung. It was like southern. And there was a bunch of monkeys there, and it was really funny, and I fed them a bunch of apples, and I wasn't supposed to. Then next thing you know, they were just like jumping on people's cars and stuff, and then I saw the signs after, and I was like, we gotta get out of here.
Don't feed the monkeys.
Let's see, we might have some footage on that one too. That's it. Good.
Well, they got since we're talking about animals and in Asia, here we go. South Korea actually legally acknowledges animals as sentient beings, not objects, in the new amendment to the Civil Act. So the Ministry of Justice in South Korea has announced plans to legally recognize animals as sentient beings rather than objects in an attempt to prevent cases of abuse and abandonment. The current Civil Act defines animals as corporal things, which means they are visible, tangible, and can be managed. Once the clause is incorporated into Article 98.2 of the Civil Act, South Korea will become one of a handful of countries to recognize animals as beings with the right to protection, enhanced welfare, and respect for life. The amendment is anticipated to be approved next month by the South Korean National Assembly. Now, it should be pointed out that both South Korea and the UK just did animals with vertebrae as sentient beings.
Wow.
So big things popping, and big things, protective laws are going to be enacted for animals.
Yeah, I think that's great, honestly.
Yep.
Gotta protect the animals, right?
Yep.
So, I have something a little dark. Hope you're ready for it.
Okay.
There were hyenas that hoarded thousands of human animal bones in Saudi Arabia lava tube.
Oh my.
Look at that. Researchers uncovered the remains in the Jerzan lava tube in Saudi Arabia. Archaeologists in northwestern Saudi Arabia have unearthed a massive collection of bones, likely stockpiled by striped hyenas over the past 7,000 years. Yeah, just kind of crazy, right? Hundreds of thousands of bones belong to at least 14 kinds of animals, including cattle, caprid horses, camels, rodents, and even humans. So, hey, you know how dogs like to bury their bones and stuff? Apparently hyenas do too.
This is no laughing matter, Brad. Those hyenas.
It was a nervous chuckle.
This is no laughing matter. Those hyenas are up to no good right now, and we need to find out what's going on down there.
Why are you laughing? This is terrible news.
You said I should laugh if it was bad news. Well, now I just know.
Why are you laughing?
Why are you laughing?
Why are you laughing?
Well,
This is terrible news.
Too bad nobody escaped, much like the Kentucky racehorse that escaped his race and then tried to run to Indiana. So a Kentucky racehorse named Bold and Bossy threw her jockey just before her race on Saturday, bolted from the track, and ran 6 miles up the highway into Indiana. As Bold and Bossy made her way up to the US 41 highway, her escape was caught on camera by folks in their cars who posted about it on social media. Posey County, Indiana, the Sheriff Tom Latham wrote that he was on the highway and saw the wayward filly. He stopped his truck and grabbed her lead to secure her from further damage. The filly was wearing blinders, racing blinders, so it restricted her peripheral vision, which could have led that event to disaster. But she couldn't see anything beside her, so he was able to get in there and rein her in. And Bold and Bossy was later treated for dehydration and a lesion. That's wow. That's I need to go over my Wordly Wise dictionary a little bit more. And after they lost a couple of horseshoes there, or she lost some horseshoes. After she was corralled, this is the weirdest part, right? After she was corralled, the barn she was in caught fire and she suffered some burns to her neck, but her owners say that she's expected to make a full recovery and get back on that.
Oh my gosh,
So,
that's crazy. So they brought her into a barn that ended up burning down.
Yeah, and then the barn ended up catching fire. So, you got to get back on that racehorse, right?
Hey, speaking about racehorses, I think Cam can jump in
Alright,
on this one.
I'm going to pull out some local news, and there's a nice Thoroughbred Retirement Foundation that a local celebrity out of Sherburne, Deborah Green, runs. And every year they have a wonderful music soiree at the end of August that is just very enjoyable and something everyone should attend.
All right.
Agreed.
Thank you for that, Cam.
Absolutely.
All right. So what do you got, Brad? What's next on
man,
this?
I got so many stories. This huge fat bear,
Whoa!
it's known as 747, was spotted at Brooks Falls in Katmai National Park a few years back. It's estimated that he weighs up to 1,400 pounds, and by the end of the summer, he's prepared for winter. Look at the big old gut on this guy as he looks like he's scratching his back here.
He looks well fed.
It's a great
He's
video.
a well-fed bear, so they must be leaving. He's doing a little backstroke. Yeah. Hey, he's got back problems. He's looking like every American out there right now.
He looks like Yogi a lot, though, doesn't he?
Unfortunately, as a bear doctor, I gotta say he's got to lose some weight.
Yeah.
That way, his back legs will be feeling a
Should
little
have
bit
a
better.
good Yogi impersonation.
But Yogi.
No, that's Boo Boo.
Hey, boo boo. How about another picnic basket?
But Yogi.
But Yogi, the park ranger, doesn't like that. Anyway, so beware of bears and beware of moose, because moose will get you.
Really?
Moose and squirrel, yes.
You sure?
And I will explain this in a little
Rocky
bit, but
Bowl.
first let's take care of the moose. So, a person walking in Clear Creek County, about 20 miles west of downtown Denver, happened to encounter a bull moose in the wild, according to Colorado Parks and Wildlife. The 36-second video goes from peaceful to frantic in the blink of an eye, and we'll got a clip right there. Look how the moose is just behind the tree, just minding his own eating, and then a split second just charges the person with the camera.
Yikes.
So it is the moose plowed towards the person, but thankfully no injuries occurred. This person managed to get behind a tree, and the moose hit that, which is what you hear in the video. The male moose, referred to as bulls, grow antlers as part of their mating process to compete for female moose. They also use these antlers, as you saw in the video. They aren't typically aggressive, but they can be when they perceive a threat. The herbivores don't like being approached by humans, and it's best to give them at least 25 feet of space, especially if young calves are nearby. So don't mess with the moose.
The bull moose.
Don't mess with the bull.
Yeah, they're
you get
huge.
the horns.
Okay, so I have a couple more
We got
quick
time
bear
for
things.
like one
quick little
maybe.
bear things. Look, these bear family went in this person's car, and what do? Like when you see a bear, naturally, you run into your house or your vehicle, right?
Yeah.
And just like hide. What if you are walking and they're already in your vehicle?
I'd
What do
say
you do?
what are those Berenstain Bears up to right
What do
there?
you do? Look at
They're on the way to the park or something.
They are funny looking, aren't they?
Well, we got some. It was not that talked about, but during the Olympics, during the equestrian event, a German coach got kicked out for punching a horse. So Germany's Annika Schlew was holding down the top spot with a commanding 24-second edge on the field going into the show jumping. So the coach of Germany's team was kicked out of the Tokyo Olympics on Saturday for all the things punching the horse. Kim Razor was caught on camera slugging the horse and urging rider Annika Schlew to really hit her mount after it balked at jumping during a pivotal moment in the competition. At that point, she was in the lead. She went from first to 31st, left the arena in tears, and then got kicked out because the horse's name, whose name is Saint Boy, would not budge. So the UIPM Executive Board has given a black card to the Germany team for the 2020 Tokyo Olympic Games.
You
Disqualification.
can't punch a horse.
You don't punch a horse, especially
on the grand stage.
especially on
of
the
Olympics.
grand stage of things, you know?
Yeah.
You got a short one? I think
Yeah, I
two
do. Look at
short
this
ones and we
fat
should be
beaver.
good.
The Alaskan beaver that was caught. They call it Beaverzilla.
Yeah.
And it's pushing like 100 pounds. Look at this thing.
Jeez, that's one big.
creepy looking,
Can you
yeah.
say that's one big beaver?
You can say,
Should
you can say that.
All right. We're not gonna get in trouble for that.
You got a big beaver there.
that's wild there.
Then and then another one was tiny elephant shrew spotted alive for the first time in 50 years. They thought it was extinct.
And there he is.
There he is, right?
It's like something straight out of I don't know, something out of heck, were all those dinosaur movies? I can't
Ice
remember.
Age.
Ice Age.
Yeah.
Thank you. Right out of Ice Age. But so
Africa, yeah.
well, we talked about moose, then there must be squirrel. More specifically, chipmunks. Because some areas of Lake Tahoe are now closed after chipmunks test positive for the plague. Now, in South Lake Tahoe, California, officials are closing some areas on the south shore of Lake Tahoe after some chipmunks tested positive for plague. Now, the plague is actually, it's a virus, of course.
No, the plague's not a virus. The plague's actually caused by a bacteria. Viruses and bacteria are not the same thing. So, you should get a distinction right there, because they're both pathogens, but viruses are parasitic thingies that infect living cells, and bacteria are actual unicellular organisms that are actually alive.
But they reported that the parking areas are now going to be off limits. During that time, they'll be conducting vector control treatments to those areas. El Dorado County spokeswoman Carla Hess said the chipmunks that were tested had no contact with people, or so they say. The plague is naturally present in some areas of California. People hiking and doing other outdoor activities should avoid contact with all animals, and they should definitely do the same for their pets. The plague itself is an infectious bacterial disease that tends to be spread by these chipmunks. Simon looks very menacing in that photo right there. And other wild rodents and fleas can catch this as well. For humans, symptoms show up within 2 weeks of exposure to the animal. They include some symptoms: fever, nausea, weakness, and swollen lymph nodes. So if caught early, you can treat it with antibiotics. But yes, you can still get the plague these days. There you go.
Jeez.
I think that's enough animal stories for 2 episodes.
I know, right? I hope you enjoyed the animal episodes.
We don't want to beat a horse. Oh.
Beat a dead horse? No.
Oh, no, obviously. But I'm Art Crandall.
I'm Brad Crandall.
That's Cam. He's too cool for cats over there.
That shit too cool for cats. He's a dog person and a hippo guy.
And that'll wrap up the animal episode. We'll catch you next time.